So the Detroit Lions get their revenge as they put up a 50-burger on the Bears. Absolute disaster outcome in week 2. Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. And wow, that was abysmal. That was abysmal. I got a lot to get to here real quick. I will just give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, ProfitX, America's #1 sports prediction market. It is a peer-to-peer sports prediction market where users play against each other instead of a sports book or the house. You will almost always get the best price on any money line, player props, totals, and spread since you're playing against each other instead of the book. And right now, use my code FST to get up to $200 in profit cash for all plays up to 30 days playing on the site. Win real money playing sports. Terms and conditions apply. All right, folks, lot to get to here. Let me just start by saying this, all right? This was definitely embarrassing for sure. And the Bears absolutely deserve all the criticism they get in this game. And I'm going to get to every single one of that. But real quick, I want to talk about what the turning point of this game was. Okay, the turning point of this game, and I'm not saying that, you know, if that doesn't happen, the Bears win this game, but I'm just saying this was so pivotal. Right before the half, it's 21-14 Lions, okay? And Lions get the ball back with a minute 55. And I'm not saying the Lions wouldn't have scored or maybe have gotten a field goal, but this was awful. They had Isaac Tesla catching that ball down the right sideline. His knee goes down in bounds. That's what they ruled it as. With 16 seconds left on the clock, the refs rule it in bounds. Lions hurry back to the huddle. They don't get the spike off. The clock runs out, and the players are headed back to the locker room. 21-14, right? One score game, totally doable. You're going into the half with some sort of momentum there. But no, what happens? The refs rehuddle. They basically go ahead and say that, you know, Tesla was ruled out of bounds. The clock resets to 6 seconds. And the Lions not only get a field goal, they get a touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And boom, it's 28-14, whole different ballgame. This is the second week in a row the refs have completely screwed the Bears over. Again, I'm not saying that changes the outcome of the game, but I'm just telling you that, hey, it's going to be closer, right? You don't want to get completely plastered 52-21 because the momentum completely shifted before the half. Like, just get the damn play right. Like, is that too much to expect from the refs here? My goodness, that was so confusing. I had no idea what's going on. Players are in the locker room 1 second, and then they call them back out, and then now touchdown Lions. So just wanted to say that was absolutely abysmal. Now let's get to the Bears here, all right? We'll start with Caleb Williams, right? Caleb Williams was okay, nothing great today. Obviously, we know he threw the interception. He had 2 touchdowns, just a little over 200 passing yards. Not great, not impressive, but not awful. And I do not want to be known as the Caleb Williams defender. But I'm going to tell you right here, right now, if you think that Caleb Williams is the main problem with this football team, you're just not watching football, right? Or you just don't know football. There are so many things wrong with this football team. And that includes Ben Johnson as far as him being responsible here. So we have a bottom tier run game, all right? Swift was running well early on in this game, but, you know, later on, you just know you can't depend on him. And obviously, he had that costly fumble as well in this game. The offensive line can't stop committing penalties. I mean, Ben Johnson was talking about this all throughout training camp, that this team is so undisciplined with penalties, and they were so pivotal and drive-killing penalties. It was just so annoying. And then the situational football is not good. All right? It's a soft football team. We're not able to, you know, get physical. Caleb wasn't able to pick up that QB sneak twice. Right? You need to be a physical football team. You need to impose your will at the line of scrimmage. The Bears haven't done that. And today it showed. Kudos to Dan Campbell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, Jameson Williams, and you know, the entire Lions team for getting their revenge on Ben Johnson. They deserve it. They have their word. Can't do nothing about it. But my goodness, when I tell you this Bears defense was horrendous, that's an understatement. I mean, a complete pushover here. You might as well have just let Jameson Williams, run to the end zone and not even cover him, because that's what essentially the case was. Jameson Williams gets deep touchdowns. Amon-Ra is just ripping guys apart. I mean, Tyreek Stevenson was getting schooled today. Jared Goff, the Dome Merchant, 23 for 28, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns. Just completely ripping us apart all over the place, and 0 sacks. I don't even think his jersey got any sort of, dirt on it. He had all day to throw. The defense was abysmal. I'm sorry, it just was. And that was the biggest problem today. It was bad. I know the defense wasn't going to be elite by any means, but I thought they could at least be formidable. I thought they could at least be decent. They were awful. Flat out awful. Dennis Allen deserves a lot of blame, probably the most in this game, for not having that defense ready. The Lions were just getting whatever they wanted. I mean, everybody ate. You couldn't stop a single person on the Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown ate. Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jared Goff. My goodness. At least stop something. At least stop the run game if the pass game is working. At least stop the pass game if the run game is working. I could not believe how bad the Bears defense was. And at one point, I'm just okay, yeah, they gave up, completely got broken, and obviously, ends up being a blowout. Look, Caleb was not great. He was not great, but he was not the main problem with this team. There's about 20 things wrong with this team, and Caleb is probably number 15. Okay? I'm not absolving him by any means, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things wrong with this football team. Now, I say all that to say this. Very frustrating to say the least. This should definitely not have been a blowout. I am completely underwhelmed by what I've seen so far, but it is still 2 weeks in. What's happening right now is the growing pains of establishing an identity. This football team does not have an identity right now. But some things that are just glaring, that need to be fixed, that we saw from a mile away. I've been telling you guys all off season long about the damn run game. Then we have our second round rookies being literally healthy scratches in Ozzie Trapilo and Shamar Turner. Luther Burton barely gets used. That's an indictment on Ryan Poles, who just got a contract extension that he probably did not deserve. So there are roster issues on this football team. There's a culture issue right now. And this is just not a good football team. It's 2 weeks in. A lot of football left. But if I could leave you guys with anything, it's just trying to stay optimistic and think this is the growing pains you have to go through with a new head coach, installing a new offense, and be able to get a identity and a culture established. But there's no excuse for that type of defense. Absolutely not. And there's no excuse for sort of the malpractice here that happened with our draft picks and our run game with Ryan Poles. So he definitely deserves a lot of blame for that. Overall, folks, obviously things not looking great, but like I said, I'm hoping these are growing pains here. And you just got to get this taste out of your mouth and move forward, because that was a punch in the mouth. That's what that was. That's what that was. Ben Johnson's getting a taste of the fact that it's not easy to be an NFL head coach in this league. It's hard to win football games in this league. Tough outcome. Let me know what you guys think, man. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.